Oh, hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is just going to be a quick tutorial on how to install or upgrade your hydraulic brakes on your mountain bike. So if you've got Hayes 9s, which is probably, if your bike's really old, they stopped making them a while ago and they tend to leak after a while. So you can get this set. It's a straight swap and it's really quite easy to install them. So I've done a bit of the work on the bike already. So we'll have a little look here. Remove the handle and we've removed the old brakes. So those have slid off there. The beauty of this whole setup is that it's all pre-assembled. So you've got your lever, which is just going to go straight on here. We'll just slide that on, adjust it to the angle that you prefer, and then tighten up the little screw that's on the bottom here. And then we're gonna, again, this is personal preference, we're gonna slide that bell on, and then we're just gonna push the grip back on. I'm gonna need two hands for this, so I might just go on. So this is kind of the easy part. The hardest part of this whole process is getting that hand grip off in the first place. But what I found is if you pull it from here, it actually works pretty well. So we're going to push this back on, and then we're going to put the little end plug in on the end, and then I'm going to flip the bike up and show you how we install the caliper. So this is the little adapter that you need. The bolts do come with a little bit of Loctite pre-installed, but I do like to add a bit more. It's just something you don't want to muck around with as your brakes. All good. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is we're going to put the caliper onto the little bracket here. We see those bolts. Now in my case, I've decided to use a little bit of a spacer to go here, because if you look at it really closely, it's actually a little bit on the tight side. So we're going to put Loctite in there already, the spacer, nice thick washer on the back there, and that's just going to keep everything nice and straight. Always hand tighten first, make sure you don't cross thread your hex bolt, and that's it. So once you get everything lined up nicely, just gently tighten up these bolts, just gently, because we still want to get it to line up. We've got our rim, which we're going to drop in there now. Now this is a bit of a fiddly procedure on this particular bike. Kind of hold a few things together at once. I'm going to just ease that disc, the rotor as it's referred to as well, in there. And then for this bike, this design, I'm going to slide in that tube and holds everything in place. In she goes. And we want to tighten up the wheel so that it's in the position that it's going to land up in. In this case, we've got to tighten these up. Remember with bikes, you don't want to over tighten things. It's not a motorbike, it's not a car, it's not a truck. You know, you can torque things, but you really just want to kind of nip things up and then give it that last quarter turn. Otherwise you start breaking things, and that's when it, you know, when you've got a bike that's a few years old, sometimes it can be quite difficult to find things to replace them with, and you'll end up having to redo the whole thing. So that's what we want to hear. Nothing. So I'm just going to very gently leave that spinning, so that make sure that cable's in there. We'll put a little zip tie in there in a minute. I'm really happy with that. Nice and quiet. And now it's just a process of just tightening things up. Wheel should spin nice and freely. And again, I know these are your brakes. Nip them up and then just a nice quarter turn. We could get a bit more purchase on there. Lovely. We'll see how those feel. I'm really happy with that. And this bike, once we've tightened up our levers, is ready to go. So final things, again, personal preference. I like to have my levers just kind of at the same angle as my arm. So I'm going to drop that down a little bit, make sure everything's nice and arranged. Make sure in Australia it's a legal requirement to have a bell, and it does make it a lot easier when you're riding along footpaths and things. And this bike will be ready to go. Those brakes feel good. Excellent. Alright guys, thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.